company store was built in 1938, and I believe it was built for me to make draperies in. The papers that we've got says it was the most modern, up-to-date, air-conditioned building that there was, because every window upstairs opens up. 1965. My neighbor asked me to come to work for them, and I said, "What do you do?" He said, "Well, I'm a salesman for J.C. Penney, and we sell custom-made draperies." And he said, "You could install them." I said, "Nobody pays to have draperies installed." He said, "Oh, yes, Virgil, they do." I went to work doing drapery installation in December, the middle of December. I could put up a drapery rod in 5 minutes, talk to the customer 5 minutes, and then get out of the house, By January the 20th, I'd already quit my job and was doing it full time. I decided, well, there's a lot of people out there making draperies. That should be a good job. So I decided, well, I'm going to get in on that. Went from the installation to manufacture. We had a little place up in Maryland. I had 4 ladies. At that time, we made them on a table, flat out, and you could never get the right length. You just pray that it was close to the length. I had a dream one night, the dream of moving from there to West Virginia. In Hyattsville, Maryland, to hire 4 people, I could have hired 15 people in West Virginia for what it cost. Followed the dream and said, well, West Virginia's not too far away. Your mother is there, so why don't you go there and just find a building and hire good people. My partners thought it was crazy. They said, and everybody in the drapery business up there thought it was crazy. I said, well, it's cheaper to buy the gasoline than it is to me to pay the rent, to pay the high price of salaries in D.C. than what it is to come back here. Once a week, we ran a truck from here to D.C., after we got into production. My dad was a coal miner all his life. All your friends were coal miners. The whole camp was. They called them coal camps. And we probably had 20 different coal camps around in Fayette County and Raleigh County. And every house was a company house, whether it was for New River Company or New River Pocahontas or Royal Coal Company, any of them. The company, they had a theater of their own, they had a drugstore of their own, they had a doctor's of their own. You had a company store for every coal camp. And you could buy anything that was coming and going down the road, you could get it there. If you couldn't get it there, you couldn't get it. The company store didn't have it, you didn't need it, except automobiles. And maybe they sold them, I don't know. And you traded at the store. If they caught you going from one company store to another, they'd probably fire you. A lot of the stores, they paid them off in scrip so they could spend the scrip at the company store. They didn't have money, that was their money. That was the company's money, was the scrip. You heard the song and you know it sold to the company store. That's basically what it was. The company had you. That's why these big buildings were built. They built them well. There was a nice building. Put hardwood floors in them. And I thought, well, that'd be the perfect place to put a drapery shop in. So this building had a mezzanine all the way around the top. Came up with the idea of hanging the draperies and then let it hang for a day, 2 days, a week if you had to. And then pin the bottom of it to make it so it was even. One operation goes, put it on the line, push it. That worked very well for us. I guess we manufactured for 40 different companies in D.C. then. Once we moved down to West Virginia and opened it up, because we had the room, had the people, and ran 2 shifts. The most prestigious job we ever did, we did them for the Blue Room in the White House. It was all velvet, 100% velvet. It was a nice heavy drapery. Anybody that was in the mining business that was living here, they called it the Scarbro Company Store. I've had it so long that now everything's a drapery shop. Because if you've been here for 50 years or better, I don't know what it'll be called after this, whatever, but it's been a good building, let's put it that way.